Hi everybody, this is Mother Kaiju and I'm doing another subscriber requested video. And this is requested by Jason Patanao, and he requested me top 5 Godzilla monsters I want to see for the legendary Godzilla series slash trilogy slash saga, whatever. And he precisely mentioned or requested me top 5 kaijus I want to see in the sequel. I kind of changed it because we kind of already basically know what to expect in the sequel, what kaiju to expect in the sequel. So instead of the saga or series, trilogy and whatever you want to call it, and instead of doing kaiju or the Godzilla monsters, for it can be more unpredictable. Because if we're talking about all the kaijus that ever existed, I'll probably pick as number one Godzilla vs. Gamera. So much to make it more unpredictable, and I did top 5 Godzilla monsters I want to see for the legendary Godzilla series slash trilogy slash saga. But anyways, enough explaining. Now let's get into the actual video. Number 5, Megaguirus. Megaguirus is actually very realistic kaiju, and she's also very interesting as well. It's actually very easy for origin. Don't do the whole black hole thing. Please don't do that. It's not going to make the movie realistic at all. It's going to make it more of a fantasy-like kaiju movie. And if you can introduce black holes into your movie, then go ahead and bring us some space monsters in. But anyways, Megaguirus origin, pretty easy. It can either be a Meganula that got mutated by atomic bombs, whatever. Or it can be where a Meganula slash Meganura just evolves into Megaguirus. Because Meganula and Meganura, or actually no, the same thing. But Meganula, I'm just going to call it Meganula. But that's Dragonfly actually lived in the Carboniferous period, I don't know how many million years ago. Like, before the dinosaurs, basically. But in that time, the oxygen levels were very, and I mean very high. And that Dragonfly Meganula was actually the size of an eagle. That's gigantic, huge. Just imagine you just go on your porch and then all of a sudden see a Meganula flying by. That would really creep me out, honestly. So it can be the same thing with Megaguirus. As I already mentioned, they can be mutated or just evolved. I'll probably want to go to the mutated routes. Because evolving, I'm not really sure, honestly. Because there's a lot of threats around there. You have to, if I'm a Meganula, I have to face all the dinosaurs, such as Coelophysis, because they like eating all the insect stuff. And also, I have to go through the Ice Age, which is really sucks, honestly. So I think they should go more to the, mutated route, honestly. But overall, I really want to see how they can redesign Megaguirus. Probably they don't even need to do anything, maybe just a little bit of tidbits, a little bit, barely any changes, and that's it. Anyways, that's number 5. And now let's go to number 4, Varan. I've mentioned this kaiju many times and saying, oh, I want to see this in the sequel, I want to see this in the trilogy, whatever. But Varan design I actually really like. Maybe Varan can be a mutated, I don't know what lizard he looks like, what reptile he looks like. Maybe it can be a mutated iguana, but don't make it like Zilla looking. Please don't. But, I don't know, just something mutated that's a reptile. Definitely not a frog. Maybe iguana, maybe, possibly, but no frog. Seriously, no. Actually, that's not even a reptile. What am I talking about? But anyways, but Varan design is actually pretty cool. I really want to see how they can redesign Varan and even his origins. I would admit that I haven't seen Varan the Unbelievable. I have seen the trailers and clips and all that stuff. It does look pretty interesting, but definitely I prefer Godzilla 1954, like by a lot, literally. But overall, I really want to see the redesign for Varan, because he barely even appears in any Godzilla movies. Actually, no, he only appeared once in a Godzilla movie, and that was only a 3-second cameo when he was flying by a mountain in Destroy All Monsters. We never see him again in the movie. He does not fight King Ghidorah. Then later on in the year 2001, they were planning to release a movie titled Godzilla X Varan X Moth. No, what was it again? Godzilla X Varan X Angus X Baragon Giant Monsters All Out Attack. But then, of course, they switched Varan into King Ghidorah, They switched Angus to Mothra, and Baragon just literally just stayed the same. So basically, that was literally the only time we saw Varan. So go ahead and bring in Varan. He's a very rare Godzilla kaiju. He does have his own series, but he's mostly known as part of the Godzilla franchise monsters, whatever. But I really want to see the redesign of Varan. But anyways, I already mentioned that a lot of times about the redesign. Anyway, now we go to number 3, and that is Orga. Orga, really a deformed kaiju, literally. I really like the laser that he shoots from his shoulder. I think it's called shoulder cannon. That beam is actually very powerful and awesome. But I don't know how they can make Orga realistic, because Orga is basically an alien from a UFO ship, basically. Maybe they can make it as like a parasite that feeds on DNA, and that specific Orga parasite actually feeds on Godzilla DNA. It latches into Godzilla, and then that's when it turns into a ginormous kaiju that wrecks the city and all this stuff. But Orga just looks very weird. His position kind of looks like an ape-like position. He can literally jump far distances, for a weird reason, even though he looks very wide and chubby overall. And then his face is kind of deformed looking. It looks like a predator alien like thing, whatever. Just a very deformed kaiju. And then the tail is like feathery. It's overall very weird kaiju. But they can maybe do a parasitic like kaiju. Kind of like the Mutos, except they actually latch onto their their food source or whatever, and then they just feed on, and that's it. And I really want to see how Orga will look like, and just the overall redesign. I saw a image of basically somebody doing their interpretation of the new Orga design, and it doesn't look good, honestly. It doesn't really look good. I think one thing they can do is remove the hair out of Orga. Orga, I think, has some like hair or something, this furish like material, like in the thigh area around there. Remove that. Just remove that. It just looks weird. That makes you think it's a mammal or even like an alien or something. It just looks weird. I mean, Orga does, the Toho Studios could do weird kaijus like Orga, because he's actually a space alien monster. They can do whatever they want. But this is trying to be realistic. This is trying to be like it actually exists. So just take off the fur. Honestly, take off the fur and just make the tail more slimy looking. Don't make it feathery looking. But yeah, that's number 3. Now let's go into number 2. This is Angus. A lot of people want Angus. They're, I guess they're demanding Angus to be in the sequel and all this stuff, all this chaos. And people want Mothra to be replaced by Angus. Actually, no. They want Angus to take over Mothra's spot, most likely. That's what I was trying to say. But it looks like we're not going to get it. But Angus, I honestly really like the 1955 design. Final Wars is, alright, I guess. But I really love the 1955 design. So maybe they can base Angus off of the 1955 design. Or even, honestly, the 1955 design does look a little realistic. And Angus's design looks pretty cool, the 1955 one. I don't know why, but I just really like the 1955 design. But that can be their base, and then they can tweak a little bit of stuff. And origin, very simple, keep it the same. Angus is basically an irradiated ankylosaurus, which basically means it's an ankylosaurus that still lived in the time of human civilization, and then got mutated by atomic bombs, or whatever. Now, I don't want this, okay? I repeat, I do not want this, but it's a very great possibility that Godzilla actually feeds on Angus. Literally. Because if the Godzilla in 2014, I know he's not mutated at all. But if the Godzilla 2014 actually feeds on, like, meat, it's a carnivore, and it's a relative to carnivorous dinosaurs or even a T-Rex, then we might actually see Ankylosaurus be, not Ankylosaurus, Angus be eaten by Godzilla, because the T-Rex is actually feeded a lot on the Ankylosaurus species. So it's very possible they can do that, but honestly, I don't want that. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see a shot where we see Godzilla feeding on the carcass of Angus. I do not want to see that. I do not want to see that. But it's a very great possibility, which I hopefully doesn't happen. Number one is Biollante. Biollante is a very wide kaiju, has a lot of, just overall very weird and also pretty realistic and also awesome. I like the crocodilian-like mouth. They can even do her rose form. They can, of course, do that. She can be basically a experiment. She can be an experiment by humans. Maybe they test G cells that they obtained with maybe a flower or a rose or a petal, and then it creates a ginormous monster. One thing that this should take off from Biollante's origins is adding Erica's DNA or cells. Just take that off. That's not gonna make it realistic. That's no, just don't do that. That's not gonna make it realistic at all. Just doesn't really make any sense. I mean, I get it. In the Toho movies, of course, they can be all wacko, whatever they want. But this is trying to be a dark, moody theme. And also, they wanted to make it realistic. And then adding a kaiju mixed with Godzilla cells and rose cells. Adding some daughter cells or human cells. Just don't do that. They should remove that. Definitely remove that. And there was also some arts of Biollante that, most people already have seen it already. But basically shows Biollante about to fight off Godzilla as Godzilla charges his spikes or spines, whatever you want to call it. And overall, that looks awesome. That image actually looks so epic. One thing that they can possibly do is probably make Biollante's stomach more of a reddish, like a dark reddish color. That would be pretty cool if it's like more red than orange. That would be pretty cool. But that art, man, that looks awesome. That's how Biollante can look like in the sequel. But yeah, that's about it for this video. This is top 5 Godzilla monsters I want to see for the legendary Godzilla series / trilogy / saga. This is requested by Patanao. Next video is, let me check my list. It is requested by Era Lupo. Top 5 scenes in Godzilla 2014. That's the next one. But yeah, that's about it for this video. Tell me down below your top 5 kaijus or Godzilla monsters you want to see in the legendary Godzilla series / trilogy / saga, whatever you want to call it. So anyways, and for this video, and also before I end this, I'm actually selling some t-shirts. I'll give you the link to the items. It's actually 3 t-shirts. One t-shirt has one specific picture, the other t-shirt has another picture, and the third one has another picture. But go ahead, if you want to buy them, go ahead and go to the links below. It will be in the description below. But yeah, now I can finally say that this is the end for this video. Subscribe, like, and comment. This is Mr. Kaiju, signing out.